Hey guys, back again with Ripin. In this episode, we're putting on an electronic boost controller. So today we're installing a HDI full electronic boost controller. Now some of you guys may be wondering why I'm installing a boost controller, but when we installed the turbo last, I purposely didn't put as much preload on the wastegate actuator because I wanted to see if I could run some lower boost with it. Then I could put this on and wind it up or turn it down accordingly if I wanted to. So it turned out yes. Less preload meant less boost, so now I can put this on. So all it is, I'll get it out for you, is it comes into the full kit. Obviously that's the system that goes in the car. It comes with the mounting points, all the fittings you need, the electrics, and obviously a solenoid and the piping that'll hook up to the wastegate actuator. So we got that, and it comes with very detailed instructions about, you know, if you wanted to do it with a twin turbo setup or if you were doing it with an external wastegate. But we're doing it with an internal wastegate, so that's how we're going to set it up. And it gives you full instructions what everything's going to do, so it's pretty well laid out. Pretty happy with the amount of instruction you get with this. So we'll get out to the Falcon and we'll get into it. Alright, so as you can see, that's what we're doing here. So we've got the solenoid, and this has a little R on it. That will go from the turbo. A pipe will go from the turbo to that one, to the A side, and that'll go to the actuator. And then we'll start running that through the firewall, and that hooks up to this loom, which also hooks up to the unit. And we have to have a manifold pressure reference go into the back of this. So we're going to tee into my boost gauge vacuum line and get the reference from there, and then we just tee in between the wastegate and the actuator with that, and that'll get us going. So let's get into it. Alright, so we've fitted the fittings to go the actuator and the turbo, and in the instructions it says try and mount it somewhere that's, you know, away from the heat as much as possible. And with what we got going on here, I'm thinking we're actually going to use the airbox and mount it up here, because all the other appropriate places are probably way too hot for it, and you also want to not have the actuator piping that long. So I figure on the cool airbox, that should give me my best chance of doing what we're supposed to do. So we're going to get it mounted up, and then we can start hooking up some pipes. Alright, so we've mounted the solenoid, and we've also got piping from the wastegate actuator, piping from the turbo. We had to buy a little bit more piping because it didn't quite fit over the turbo fittings, but it wasn't that much. That was fine, a few bucks. And then, yes, we'll hook that up, and then we can run this through the firewall, and then we can move on to the inside. Alright, it's all mounted up, connected up. Actuator to solenoid, turbo to solenoid. We're going to run through the firewall with that wiring, and then we're going to move on to the inside. Alright, so you can see we've come through the firewall there. I've T-pieced into the boost gauge, so it's the boost reference, so I can have the same reference going to the controller as going to my boost gauge. And then we have run the power cables and everything like that behind there, and I'll come up and show you what we've got going on at the dash. Alright, and we've mounted that one up next to the 12 volt sockets I've chucked in before. And yeah, sits in tidy there. And if you look, it's just a button. Hang on, sorry about the light, fellas. But you push that button and it's up and down to adjust your boost, and there's a little light there. Hang on, I'll show you. See, hooked up. One is there to say that we've got a boost reference, and one's there to say that the solenoid has been actuated. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. It's going to do the job. The next thing to do from now is to actually take it for a drive and then put the boost up to about 7.5 where I wanted it before. And now I've also got the option of turning it down if I want to for a safe tune.
One winner later.
Alright, so it's the next day, and I thought I'd give you guys a bit of a better explanation of what we got up to and how this thing works. So as I said just before, there's two lights for the solenoid and the boost reference, and obviously that knob right in the middle there, you push it and it pops out, and then you can turn it up or down for boost. Obviously all the way down's wastegate and all the way up's blowing your engine. So yeah, I'll show you what we finished up with in the engine bay and then we'll take it for a drive. So obviously we mounted up the solenoid on the airbox. We ran one from the wastegate actuator and one from the turbo. We kept them out of the way of the heat. Then we put heat shielding on the electrics going all the way through the firewall, and T-pieced on the inside. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with the results for that. So we'll take it for a drive. We'll try and set it to where I want and see if it does what it's supposed to do, and she'll be sweet. So yeah, we've got it on the car. We've done a bit of adjusting, and so far it spools up hard and holds the boost perfectly. Now I'm just going to keep adjusting it. Well, just as planned, I adjusted it. Sure enough, it's set to exactly where I want it. Stoked. Well, there you have it. Another mod done to ripin. It's good. It's going to give me a lot more adjustability on the boost, and this thing's tuned up to 8 pound anyway, so anything under that is, you know, going to be good. So thanks for watching. Till the next one. See you later.